Hello and welcome to a new series by Brrraaains A Head-Banging Life. Now, we are big music fans. We go to a lot of gigs, we go to a lot of festivals. Less nowadays, but we've been to quite a few. But there are many we either were too young to go to, we were never able to get to for whatever reasons, being in other countries, or just weren't able to do it at the time. Got us thinking, how cool it would be, the way we do an analysis of the festivals we cover now, the modern stuff, Download and Bloodstock and the likes of that. What if we were to go back? What if we were to flashback to those earlier festivals across the world? So we're talking the UK stuff, Download, Bloodstock, but also European stuff like Hellfest and Wacken and further aboard, well. Rock on the Range, Tuska Open Air in Finland, Dynamo.
Was the newest, new ones like 70,000 tons of metal. So on a cruise ship.
Damnation Festival, things like that. Huge array that have ever existed, even going back further back to the likes of Monsters of Rock back in the day. What if we were to basically look at them, go through them, see where the bands are now, see who was huge at the time, who isn't now, see positions, and just sort of have fun looking back at a festival and see at the time if we would have even gone to it, that kind of thing. So that brings us to this. This is a jug, a stein, filled with as many different festivals as I could think up at the time, which is quite a lot, but still not really touching the sides. And we were going to cover it. So what we'll do in a moment is we will randomly pick one out of this, and that will be the festival we cover. That's how this format's going to work. Yeah. All right, so being episode 1, we're literally choosing this at random. You're going to dip into the stein, mix it around, and then what we get is what we have.
I'm going to rummage. Oh, God, so many. Monsters of Rock, 1996.
Right, so Monsters of Rock took place in Donington, where Download takes place right now. It was Download before Download was Download, basically.
Yeah.
And this was the last year, barring a one-off event in 2016, which is at the Milton Keynes Bowl, just a day thing. Yeah. So this was what Monsters of Rock was as well. This wasn't a festival weekend. It's actually going to be quite a small episode because there wasn't lots and lots of bands, basically. Yeah. So we're basically going to go through them. There are 2 stages, the main stage and the Kerrang stage. Second stage, effectively.
Time to change to put the bands on the Kerrang stage then.
Yeah. So we'll go for the Kerrang stage, being effectively the second stage first. And Cecil? Who the fuck is Cecil?
No.
Like, generally, never heard of that. Honeycrack.
No.
Again, never heard of them. Obviously, nobody's considering the year. 3 Colours Red.
I've heard of them.
That's a random one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've
heard of them. I can't remember anything by them. I'm thinking new metal.
Well, basically, because of the era,
it's bound to be, isn't
it is very heavily towards that. You look at the bands and listen and go, that makes sense, because Everclear, perfect for that. Typo Negative and Korn. Now, the top 2 of that would have been good fun. Typo Negative and Korn during 1996. So these were both top of their kind of class. But Korn headlined in the second stage, following the self-titled debut. And was this after Follow the Leader? Follow the Leader.
Was that 97?
It was within that ballpark, I think. So this was Korn when they were really, really hot for sure. Type of Negative.
Yeah, I'll be well up for that. Especially 96. Yeah, that'd be good fun. I've seen them live once, and that was at Astoria. So I've never seen that sort of festival.
Yeah, I mean, I never saw Type of Negative. I've never seen them live. Never will now, obviously. So I would have loved to see them back in the heyday, the strong points. But it is what it is. I'm not massively bothered. I don't rate them as highly as some people do. Certainly don't rate them as highly as you do. I would have loved to have seen Korn back in the 90s. That would have been wild, man. That would have been good fucking fun. Right, and that's basically it. There were 6 bands on the second stage. Which brings us to the main stage, which also has 6 bands. Well, no, 7. Yeah. 7. Because there's joint headliner, basically. So it started and opened with Fear Factory. Again, 96.
I'm on board.
96 Fear Factory, quite young, quite up for it. That would have been good. Paradise Lost. It was Paradise Lost. They're still going now, going strong.
Yeah.
Again, perfect era. Just think of how young these bands were. Dog Eat Dog. They disappeared, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember much of them. But...
Well, that's the thing. But I remember Dog Eat Dog being big, really big in the 90s. This was 1 year after I was in secondary school.
Yeah.
So maybe about 1 year after I came to this country. Maybe 2 years max, yeah.
Yeah.
Biohazard. Biohazard back in the day would have been wild as
Yeah,
fuck,
that
man.
would be really
Jesus,
good.
imagine that.
Definitely some proper pits going in there. And
Yeah,
some, like,
wow.
some antics going on.
That would, yeah, it's hardcore, man. Particularly back in the 90s, angry people, New Labour and all that shit. Yeah, Jesus. There is Sepultura, but apparently performing only as a three-piece, as frontman Max Cavalera was absent due to the death of his stepson. Now, what would have made this, I think, quite iconic then? This means this was shortly before the end of Sepultura then.
Yeah, 96.
Yeah, because
August 96.
yeah, so this was before the Brixton show, because if this was in 17th of August 1996, it's very, very fucking close to the end of Sepultura. Wow, that's a moment. A three-piece, as front Mexico was absent. How did they do that, I wonder?
Yeah.
Like, who sung?
Yeah, unless they that's all like
Guest vocalists?
Guest vocalists, because something like
possibly, yeah. It's happened before.
People like that kind of stuff, don't they? So,
yeah. But yeah, this was shortly before Sepultura would, well, the Sepultura that we grew up with, the Max Cavalera front of Sepultura would end. If you don't know, you can always read about it online.
Yeah.
That became After a Fight at Brixton, which is Under a Pale Sky, one of the best live albums ever recorded. And then we got Kiss and Ozzy Osbourne as the joint headliners. So yeah, I mean, weirdly, right? If this was a modern day festival, I'd be like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
God, here they come shuffling out again.
Yeah, but 96.
You know, but that's the thing, you've got to remember the year. It's 1996. Well, look at that and go, Kiss 96. Don't get me wrong.
I don't know any albums when they were out, so Kiss has always been
a
like
live three, you know?
Yeah.
I don't really care. I wouldn't have cared too much for that, but Ozzy in 96, solo stuff, would have been strong as fuck. That would have been awesome. That would, you know, I've seen both live. I've seen Kiss live, and Kiss put on a great show. They're Kiss. They do what they do.
Yeah.
But I don't care about them enough to ever get too excited.
Yeah.
Whereas Ozzy, what I've seen has always come in the latter part of his career. And while I've enjoyed some more than others, I think showing at the O2 was probably the best time I've seen him. Whereas when I saw him with Black Sabbath at Hellfest, it was awful, and it kind of made sure I'd never want to see him again.
Yeah.
But back then it would be fantastic. I think overall, right?
That's for me, that's strong.
Yeah, so like basically, we're there, we'll be like, okay, cool, we've got Type of Negative, Korn, Fear Factory, Paradise Lost, Biohazard, Sepultura, Kiss, and Ozzy Osbourne. That's really strong.
Yeah.
That's quite good out of 13 bands. That's over half of them that would be like, yep, definitely going to try and see them.
And it makes a brief, doesn't it? It's called Monsters of Rock. And it's like, there you go.
Well, basically, it kind of does what you want, which is your headliners are your big dogs, your big guns, your Kiss and your Ozzy Osbourne, whereas the undercard is a mix of established Sepultura, Type of Negative,
all that lot.
Yeah, and then you've got your up and comers, your Fear Factories at this point, your Paradise Lost at this fucking point. Yeah. Even things like Dog Eat Dog, even though they're nowhere to be found now. Yeah. You know, at the time, I remember the name. I remember the name being buzzed around quite a bit. Yeah. So yeah, there you go. That's how this format's going to roll. There will be a lot longer videos. We got 1996 Monsters of Rock. There was only 13 bands on that fucking bill, so not a lot we can do. But yeah, watch out for future episodes as well. Thank you for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button.